In this video, we are going to rank every single fish in Fortnite history from worst to best. Yes, you heard that correctly. We are ranking fish today, and this is honestly one of my most requested videos on the channel. I should emphasize here at the beginning, I am not ranking every single different variant of flopper, for example. That will not be in this video. It will just be the one main orange flopper that gives you 40 white heals, for example. As long as the fish gives a different ability, it will be featured on this video. We have plenty of fish to rank in this video, so let's just get right into it. Be sure to use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop, and yeah, here we go. At my number 17 spot, the worst fish in Fortnite history by, I think, a long shot, it's the stinkfish. Oh, and would you look at that, no surprise, an item introduced in Chapter 2, Season 6 is in last place. I don't think anyone's surprised about that one. But seriously, you only get 20 white heals when you use this thing. You can stack 4 of them, and the only really good part about this fish is that you can actually throw it and use it like a stink grenade. 80 total white heals is just not enough to make it any higher up on this list. At the number 16 spot is the snowy flopper, and guys, honestly, you could probably change the stink flopper and the snowy flopper. I think they are both awful fish. In fairness to the snowy flopper though, you actually can hold 5 of them and you get 40 white heals every time you use it. So that's a total of 200 white heals if you use them all to their max ability, and that's actually really good. That's probably better than most fish on this list. And they are the uncommon rarity, so you're gonna find them pretty often. It's just my main problem here is that snowy feet. Every single time you eat one of these floppers, you get those ice cubes on your feet. We all know how painful those are to deal with. They are impossible to control yourself after you eat this fish, and a lot of times you're going to be eating these fish when you're super weak, you're in a tough situation, you're in a box, you're getting pressured, and then to add icy feet on top of that is a total disaster. Moving on to my number 15 spot on this list, that's going to be the thermal fish, and you might be surprised to see a legendary fish this far down on the list. I just think this is a really underwhelming fish. Think about it, guys. It does 15 white heals. You can only hold 2, so you're probably thinking, it's got to have a really good ability to make up for that lack of heals, but all you get is just your screen turns thermal for 30 seconds, and I don't think that ability is really that good compared to many we're going to see on this list. I think it's okay, right? I think there's times where it's useful, especially, for example, when someone's building out of wood. The thermal flopper essentially allows you to just see right through their builds. But for only getting 15 white heals, they're basically telling you that you're not using this fish to heal up. You're using this fish for the thermal ability, and it's not good enough to put it any higher up. At my number 14 spot is the small fry, and I'm sure a lot of people here probably expected this to be in last place, but no, I actually think the common small fry is better than the legendary thermal fish. Look, you get 25 white heals instantly, and you can use it up to 75 heals. That's the only thing that holds it back, is you cannot get to 100, you can only use it at 75. Or up to 75, I should say. The fact that you get the 25 health instantly, it basically just totally makes bandages useless, and they are a common variant, which means these things are literally everywhere. If you go to any fishing hole, you don't even have to go to a fishing hole. You can catch them at non-fishing holes, which is huge, but you're going to find them everywhere. And you can also stack 6 of them, so 150 effective white heals. If you use them all correctly, then yeah, that is really good. Stop hating on my boy, the small fry, right? I know you guys are going to be hating on him, but how many times has that small fry saved you from dying? I bet it's going to be a lot more than you think. So cut this guy some slack. Anyways, moving on to our number 13 spot, it's the spicy fish, a blue rarity fish. So again, I think this is what the thermal fish kind of wanted to be, right? Because you only get 15 white heals when you're using this fish. You can stack 3 of them, so decent, right? But the hot pepper, hot chili effect, you guys know what I'm talking about. Smoke comes out of your ears, you go flying through the map, you run so fast. That is a really good ability. It's not crazy by any means, and there are tons of abilities on this list that are better, but this is significantly better than the thermal fish. And of course, I'm comparing it to the thermal fish because they both give you 15 white heals, so they're essentially saying screw the heals, you're basically using this for the ability it gives you. And of course, there are many more fish that are exactly like this. They give you 15 white heals and they have a unique ability. Also, just side note, I love the aesthetics of this fish. I love the blue and like bright orange puffer fish. It looks sick. At my number 12 spot is going to be the hop flopper, and I think some of you guys think that this is going to be too low in the list, and it should be maybe closer to 7 or 8, and I could see that. Again, this is another one of those fish where you only get 15 white heals, so you're not really using it for the health. You're using it for the ability, and the ability you get here is the hop rock low gravity effect. Now, that effect is okay on its own. I mean, you can take high ground, you can get above somebody, you can use it effectively, but where you're really gonna use this fish is, let's say, pair it with a shockwave grenade. Use this fish to get the hop rock ability, and then send a shockwave at your feet, and you will go absolutely absolutely flying further than like most mobility items in Fortnite history, and that is when this fish is really good, when it's paired with an item like a shockwave grenade. But on its own, I don't think the hop flopper is really that good, especially for a purple rarity fish. You guys got to remember, those purple and legendary rarity fish, those are tough to pull. At the number 11 spot is going to be the cuttlefish, and I've got some explaining to do because this is not even a fish that you can eat and consume. It's actually a damage item. You know, I was honestly even wondering if I should include this fish on the list because it's not like the other fish you see here. You don't consume it for white heals. It's more so like a grenade. It does 35 damage to nearby players when it's activated. It works similarly to like the paper bomb kunai or the Batman grenades if you remember from Season X, and you can hold 6 of them, so decent damage. I vividly remember when there used to be like, I think it was like an exploit with the cuttlefish when you could stack a bunch of them at once and then they would like drop through the ceiling once you exploded one of them and they would deal damage to the players. I'm not sure if that still works. I honestly haven't used a cuttlefish in years, but I think at this point you guys can see why the cuttlefish was tough to rank. It's not like any of the other fish on this list. Moving on to my number 10 spot on this list, I think this is going to be a hot take here. It's the Vendetta Flopper. This is an incredibly tough pull. It actually has a 1% catch rate, so obviously that means if you're going to cast your rod 100 times at a fishing hole, you may catch this fish 1 time. I'm willing to bank on the fact that probably most of you watching this video have never actually used a Vendetta Flopper in a public match of Fortnite Battle Royale, and honestly, neither have I. I play a lot of this game. So you're thinking here, right, it's a legendary fish, 1% catch rate. It must have an unbelievable ability to go alongside it, right? Because at that point, you don't even care about the heals. It's so rare. It better have a good ability. Well, all it does is it marks the nearest player for 30 seconds. That is literally it. It is literally like using a flare gun. It is an incredibly disappointing ability for a fish that is so hard to catch. You're sitting there thinking it's got to be something great. And I'm not saying that marking people is a bad ability. Marking people is good. It can basically give you a free kill. But for a 1% catch rate, I was expecting something a lot better than this fish. And yeah, that's what keeps it so low on this list. Moving on to the number 9 spot is going to be the Shadow Flopper, and a very rare Chapter 2 Season 6 W we have here. You can stack 4 of them. You get 40 heals, so looking good there. And you also get the shadow effect, similar to something like a shadow stone, for example. That shadow effect is one of the best abilities of any fish. It is incredibly useful for mobility, for sneaking up on players, for basically just turning invisible for a couple seconds. This is an incredibly underrated fish. I feel like I literally never hear anybody talk about this fish specifically anymore, but it deserves a lot more love. It's really good. Anyways, moving on to the number 8 spot is going to be the Midas Flopper. And guys, honestly, it looks like all these legendary fish are just absolutely flopping on this list. While I still don't think that the ability you get with this fish here is great, I do think it is considerably better than the Vendetta Flopper. And of course, that ability that I'm referencing is that once you eat this fish, it turns all the items in your inventory to legendary, or at least all the weapons in your inventory to legendary. I will say it is absolutely one of the coolest looking fish. It's one of the best designs for a fish that we have on this list. And again, here you only had a 1% catch rate, and they could only be caught at the ruins or the authority, so making it even more rare. I mean, you even had to have a pro fishing rod to catch this thing. So you could make the argument it is even rarer than the Vendetta Flopper, and is the ability that much better? I mean, I'll let you guys argue that in the comment section. At the number 7 spot is going to be the 0-point fish, and I think this is the point in the list where we are getting into some seriously good fish. These are some fish that you're going to carry into the end game with you. They are really, really good, not only for their heals, but also for the ability that you get with them. The 0-point ability that you get from eating this fish is incredibly useful. It is one of the best abilities by far. I think we all figured that out when you use the Blink Mag SMG back in Chapter 4 or the stones in Chapter 2 Season 5. Guys, these things are incredible. They're so easy to traverse the map. You can sneak up on somebody so easily. It just makes fighting against somebody so much easier, and vice versa. If you fight against somebody who is using this ability, it is almost impossible to kill them. While that aforementioned 0-point dash ability is incredible, it really, really lacks in heals. You only get 15 health, and you can only stack 2 of them, and that's what keeps it back from being any higher up on this list. At my number 6 spot is going to be the jellyfish, and if you don't know how this jellyfish functions, well, lucky for you, there is an item that functions identically to it, and that's going to be chug splashes. A jellyfish is literally just a chug splash. So think about it up to this point in the list. Would you rather have a chug splash than any of the fish that I've named already? Yeah, probably, except for maybe the Midas Flopper. But if you went into a lobby for hours and we're searching for the Midas Flopper, I bet you wouldn't want as bad as just going to open up a chest and just chucking a Chug Splash at your foot, right? I think it's really cool here that you get an ability that everybody can use, right? Most of these fish are things that only apply to you as a single player, but a jellyfish can affect your whole team. They can all get the heals, again, just like a Chug Splash. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the only fish to have an augment based around it, so it's got that going for it, I guess. At my number 5 spot is a Rift fish, and when you think about this fish, I want you to literally just think about a Rift to go that gives you heals as well. That is essentially all this fish does. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. In fact, I actually believe this is the best effect fish in the game. A fish that doesn't just give you heals, but also has an ability tied to it. I believe that this is the best. You also can hold 2 of them, which is good, and the ability to just spawn a Rift literally wherever you want not only affects you, it also helps your entire team. It helps you get out of some super sticky situations. You can rotate to and from zone. I mean, this fish can do a lot for you. I mean, compare it to something like the Stinkfish or the Snowy Flopper, and you'll see how far we've come. Also, sick designed looking fish. It looks amazing. And at the number 4 spot is going to be the Shield Fish. This is the first of what I would consider to be like the pop culture fish down the drain here. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about the fish that everybody knows. I mean, even besides Fortnite, everyone's heard of Shieldfish, Floppers, and Slurpfish, and the Shieldfish is the first one down here. Man, when this thing used to give you 50 shield literally instantly, it was so broken. Of course, it got nerfed down to 40, and yeah, while that is still incredible, you can only hold 3 of them, so you're better off really just holding 3 big pots. I'm gonna ask you guys in the comment section, would you rather have 3 big shields or 3 shieldfish? Of course, with the shieldfish, you get the shield instantly, but with the big shields, you get more effective shields. Of course, 150 versus 120. You can really catch somebody off guard, right? Like if you have 3 shieldfish, somebody cracks you for 100, and instantly, literally in 2 seconds, you can have all that shield back. They'll push you, they'll get super aggressive because they think you have no shield left, and there you are back at 200, right? Really, really good fish, but they're just 3 that outdo it. And one of those 3 fish at the number 3 spot is the Flopper, the OG fish. When you think of Fortnite fish, when you think of the idea for this video, when you pressed on this video, you probably thought of this fish. There's a reason why back in the day, like I'm talking early chapter 2, you watch any competitive gameplay, every single player, and I'm dead serious, every single player was carrying at least 4 Floppers with them. And that's because you get the 40 white heals instantly and you can hold 4 of them. It's that simple. There's nothing really confusing about this fish here. You can just sit there, tank zone, take so much storm damage, and just get all that health back instantly. Think about the items that give you white heals, right? There's not really that many that are that great. I'm thinking like medkit, bandages. Floppers are just so much better. Honestly, I think a lot of you guys probably thought this was going to be the number 1 spot on this list, but you got to see what I have ahead of it. At the number 2 spot is going to be the Slurp Fish. So a really interesting fish here. It is a purple, so it is harder to find, but it gives you 40 health and or shield. So essentially it gives you effective health. And what I mean by that is you can be at 80 health and 20 shield, for example, and it will fill up that health bar fully, and then with the other 20 remaining, it will give it to your shield. So that is so good. There is no fish like that. And I think we can all agree, would you rather have 3 Slurpfish or 4 Floppers? I think the majority of us would say 3 Slurpfish. The hardest thing is just getting your hands on these fish, right? Because they are tough finds, and so getting 3 of them at once is really tough. Man, that OG Slurpfish that gave you 50 health or shield instead of 40, that thing was absolutely insane. But obviously, it is not the best fish on this list. If you can somehow believe it, the number 1 spot is not even a fish at all, it's the Mythic Goldfish. I know, so many people are going to come at me once they watch this video and are going to say, you know what, that is a cheeser pick. That should not be allowed. The Mythic Goldfish isn't even really a fish. But come on, like, you get it from fishing. Its last name is literally Goldfish. I had to include it on this list. I could not make a list about fish and not include the Mythic Goldfish. You know what I'm saying? I actually don't think the Mythic Goldfish is as good as a lot of people say it is. Don't get me wrong. It is insane. You instantly throw it at somebody and it just deletes them. 200 damage, that's it. But for the odds of getting this fish, guys, it's 1 in 1 million. That is insane. 99.9% of Fortnite players will actually never come across this item in a game of Fortnite ever. Luckily, I actually have. I have come across the Mythic Goldfish in a Chapter 2 Season 1 game of Fortnite. I'll try and find the screenshot from my Xbox and put it up there. But even with that being said, like, getting the fish is just so incredibly rare. That doesn't even guarantee that you can use it effectively. You have to throw it. It has to direct impact somebody, and then at that point, it will kill them. But seriously, like, I'm comparing the Mythic Goldfish to, like, the spicy fish, the stink fish, like jellyfish. I mean, come on. The Mythic Goldfish absolutely blows it out of of the water. So yeah, guys, that is my list for ranking every single fish in Fortnite history. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a super goofy one, but you guys have requested it over and over again, so I had to deliver. If you went on to enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a like. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. You're not going to want to see what video I have planned for that. It's going to be absolutely insane. Well, actually, you might want to see it. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace.